Hi everyone, welcome back to MOHIVATE. I'm Dr. Mohi Sarawgee, a GP by profession, curious like all of you, but here I'm swapping prescriptions for perspective. And the thread that runs through my life, what I've held close for years, is what I call the feel good factor. That's the energy I want to bring you here. A space to pause for a few moments each week, to smile, and to remember that health can feel simple and that life doesn't always have to feel so overwhelming. So, whether you're on your commute, at the gym, juggling kids and emails, or even doom scrolling late at night, this space is for you. Last week, we explored what happens when love loses sight of itself. This week is the gentle counter move, how joy finds its way back inside you and between us. Because your body has a built in pharmacy. Sometimes no prescription pad required. Recently, my sister shared a news story that made me smile. Apparently, in Sweden, doctors can actually prescribe experiences, not tablets, but time in nature, art, or even cultural activities as part of wellness treatment. It's called the Swedish prescription, and it's backed by research showing how sunlight, movement, and connection boost both mood and immunity. Imagine walking out of your GP appointment with a prescription which says 2 forest walks and 1 sunset a week. Now, I'm not entirely sure who's covering the cost. I doubt insurance or the government includes a flight, hotel, or even a cocktail. But I do love the idea. Maybe start a little feel good savings account for it someday, because that truly is the feel good factor. Light, color, music, a smile, a shared joke, an embrace, even a meal, whether shared or savored alone, can trigger tiny chemical messengers that quietly heal you from the inside out. That's the chemistry of feeling human again. Your body's pharmacy at work behind the scenes. Science calls these messengers neurotransmitters, tiny chemical communicators that travel between your brain and body. But I like to think of them as your body's feel good team, each with its own personality, quietly keeping your mood, motivation, or motivation and balance in check. Let's learn a little bit about them. Oxytocin is the hugger. It shows up when you hold a hand, share a laugh, or feel deeply connected. Dopamine is the spark, that little thrill when you tick off a to do list or get a message you were hoping for. That's dopamine. Endorphins are the runners, the natural painkillers that turn effort into euphoria. And cortisol? Well, it's the drama queen of the group, necessary, but the one who tends to steal the spotlight when things get stressful. But today, we are focusing on the calm one, serotonin, the quiet rhythm beneath all the noise, the one that doesn't create fireworks, it restores daylight. Now, all these hormones we've just met, they're not just about mood, they're about survival. Each one has a role to calm you, connect you, motivate you, or protect you. Our brains evolve to release them when we connect, move, laugh, or love. The very things that keep us alive as a species. They are the microscopic molecules of belonging flowing through your bloodstream every time you feel seen, safe, or simply share a moment that matters. And it's not just hugs, it's sharing a look across a crowded room, laughing over a badly timed selfie, singing out of tune in the car, or having that one friend who texts you just when you need it most. If it makes you smile, your body is doing something extraordinary beneath the surface, releasing a symphony of tiny molecules that fuel calm, connection, and contentment. So, today, let's take a walk through the science of joy, how it works, how to recognize it, and how to create it, one tiny feel good moment at a time. And since every orchestra needs a first note, let's begin with serotonin, the calm one, because understanding joy begins one hormone at a time. If happiness were a color palette, serotonin would be the soft sunrise shade. It doesn't give you fireworks or euphoria. That's dopamine's department. Serotonin is steadier, subtler, more like sunlight through curtains than a disco light. If happiness had a quiet sibling, it would be serotonin. Fun fact, the discovery of serotonin began by accident. Scientists in the 1940s were studying blood pressure and they found a mysterious substance that made blood vessels contract. So they named it serotonin from serum and tonic. And yes, for anyone wondering, this tonic doesn't come with gin, but it does lift your spirits in its own way. Later, they realized the same chemical was abundant in both the brain and the gut. It wasn't about blood pressure after all, it was about balance. Serotonin is your body's stabilizer. It keeps your emotional climate steady. When serotonin is in rhythm, you feel grounded, peaceful, able to cope. When it dips, everything feels grey. Small stressors feel like storms. Even hope feels heavy. You know that quiet sense of relief after a good cry or a warm shower? That's serotonin, stepping in to say, you're safe now. Now, we often assume that feelings and thoughts live only in the brain. But here's the surprise: about 90 to 95% of your serotonin isn't made in the brain at all. It's made in your gut by special cells that constantly chat with your brain through the vagus nerve, that long wandering messenger connecting your stomach to your emotions. Most of this serotonin actually stays in your gut. It doesn't cross into your brain. But the gut signals that trigger serotonin release travel directly through the vagus nerve, shaping mood and calm from the inside out. Think of your gut and brain as two old friends constantly texting each other, except they never mute the chat. When one's anxious, the other knows immediately. That's why your gut feeling isn't poetic, it's brain science, actual neurology. The rest of your serotonin is made deep in the brainstem in tiny clusters. Think of the brainstem as a bridge between brain and body, the part that keeps your heartbeat steady and your breathing automatic. From there, serotonin travels everywhere to your prefrontal cortex. Remember the area behind your forehead, your personality's control center? Then it travels to your hippocampus, your memory librarian, and to the amygdala, that little almond shaped alarm system in your brain deciding whether something feels safe or scary. When serotonin flows smoothly, these regions hum in harmony. Life feels in rhythm. When it drops, life feels slightly offbeat, like your favorite song playing on a weak speaker. Serotonin is made from an amino acid called tryptophan, which comes from foods like eggs, nuts, bananas, tofu, and yes, even chocolate. Your body then uses sunlight to help convert tryptophan into serotonin, which is why light is one of nature's simplest antidepressants. So, that little walk after lunch, it's literally lighting up your mood circuits. And as a bonus, it helps your insulin too. That unpredictable hormone we'll meet in another episode. So, yes, your morning banana and that square of chocolate are doing more than keeping you company. They are tiny therapists in edible form. Tempting as that sounds, just don't replace your therapist with Nutella, however you call it. So, food, light, and movement give serotonin the stage. But once it's there, what exactly does it do? Serotonin helps regulate mood, sleep, appetite, and even pain. It's your emotional shock absorber, the cushion between you and chaos. When it's balanced, you don't feel ecstatic, you feel okay. And okay is underrated magic. When serotonin dips, small problems look huge. You lose motivation, appetite, and joy, what psychiatrists call anhedonia. It's not drama, it's chemistry. Pop psychology loves calling serotonin the happy hormone, but neuroscience knows better. It's not the buzz, it's the stability. Remember, it's the steady hum that happiness rests on. Depression isn't just about low serotonin, it's a whole network. Serotonin, dopamine, and cortisol all tangled together. They rise and fall together, shaping how your mind weathers life's storms. When serotonin falls, your brain's stress control center, the HPA axis or hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, gets stuck on alert. Imagine a home circuit that won't switch off. That's your stress system when serotonin is slow. Sleep drops, appetite changes, you cry easily, even immunity weakens. Back in the 1950s, scientists were studying rhesus monkeys and found something profound. When a monkey was isolated or lost its social rank, serotonin levels dropped. When it rejoined the group, they rose again. Belonging actually changed its chemistry. Even in humans, MRI studies have shown that loneliness reduces serotonin receptor activity. So, when someone says, I feel invisible, it's not exaggeration, it's neurology. If getting out of bed or brushing your teeth feels like climbing Everest, you're not lazy, you're low on fuel, not character. There's help and it's real. Talk to someone you trust, see your GP, see a mental health professional. But alongside that, there are small science backed ways to lift serotonin gently back up. Here are my top 5 strategies to restore your serotonin balance. Number 1, morning sunlight. 5 to 10 minutes by a window or outdoors. Your brain uses serotonin to make melatonin at night. Melatonin is your sleep hormone. So, mornings matter. That's why sunlight is nature's alarm clock. It wakes you gently, resets your rhythm, and gives your serotonin a morning head start. You'll hear more about this when we meet cortisol, our stress companion. Number 2, move your body. Walk, stretch, dance. Movement increases serotonin signaling and makes your receptors more responsive. If you're low, try a tiny victory dance, maybe to Stayin' Alive by the Bee Gees. Even a silly shoulder shimmy in front of the mirror, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the car, everything helps. If someone walks in on you, Just smile and say, it's serotonin work, highly scientific. Now let's move to the third point and talk about your gut. Because calm doesn't just come from the mind, it's brewed deep in your belly. Your gut has its own ecosystem, trillions of microbes working day and night to keep your chemistry balanced. And here's the magic, those microbes help your body make serotonin's building blocks. So the next time you think of comfort food, remember true comfort begins in your gut. Think yogurt, kefir, lentils, nuts, seeds, vegetables, fruit, and fiber, that unsung hero of nutrition. This is what keeps your gut bacteria happy. Most adults need 25 to 30 grams fiber a day, but very few of us actually reach that, though it's easier than we think. Fiber is what your gut bugs feed on, and when they thrive, so does your serotonin. A 2015 paper in Cell even found that certain gut bacteria produce serotonin precursors, proving that your microbiome literally talks chemistry with your brain. So when your grandmother said, eat home cooked food, it'll lift your mood, she wasn't being poetic. She was quoting molecular neuroscience without knowing it. Now let's come to the fourth point. Serotonin loves mastery and meaning more than noise or perfection. Tidy a drawer, send that one email, celebrate a small win, water a plant, however you like it, and see the magic. Now let's come to the fifth and final strategy for today. Step into nature. Green spaces calm your amygdala, your internal alarm. Remember that Swedish prescription for time in nature? Japan has its own version called Shinrin Yoku or forest bathing. And no, it's not an actual bath. It's simply walking slowly among trees, breathing deeply, letting your senses rest. Japanese researchers found that just 20 minutes among trees lowers your cortisol, slows your heart rate, and boosts your serotonin levels. It's therapy by oxygen. I love these Japanese concepts. They blend science with soul so beautifully. Ideas like ikigai, your reason for being, or wabi sabi, finding beauty in imperfection. There's so much quiet wisdom there. Japan's actually second on my travel list. We'll save the reveal of number one for another time. If you've tried all of this and still feel flat, remember medication isn't failure. SSRIs or selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, one of the most common types of antidepressants, don't add fake happiness. They simply let serotonin stay longer between brain cells so signals carry properly. It's like giving your inner peacemaker an extra lunch break. Medication doesn't replace healing. It creates space for therapy, for movement, for connection, and for sleep to work again. A quick word of caution, these medications are prescription only for a reason. They need proper discussion, dosage guidance, and monitoring. Please don't buy them online or through local vendors. Always talk to your doctor first. So, if you take away one thing from this, serotonin isn't about chasing happiness, it's about building stability. It slows the scroll, quiets the chaos, and lets you breathe again. It's the steady hum of being okay, of feeling safe, of knowing you can begin again. Some days, serotonin dips naturally when stress builds, sleep breaks, or life just feels too full. But it always rebuilds quietly, one small joy, one deep breath at a time. I hope something today stirred a thought, gave you a smile, or simply made you pause. And if you've been enjoying these episodes, I'd love for you to follow or subscribe. That way, you'll get a gentle reminder when a new one drops each Thursday. If something here made you smile, made you feel good, or maybe made you think of someone, please share it with them. That's how the feel good factor spreads. And if you have a moment to rate or leave a kind word, it truly keeps me going. Thank you for listening. I'm Dr. Mohi. Until next time, stay motivated. May your days find their steady rhythm and your thoughts their calm. And when the world feels too loud or too heavy to hold, remember, home is already within you. You only need to come back to it.